Okay. Hopefully you can all hear me okay. Hi guys. Hi Harlow. I have, I'm set up on YouTube here and then Instagram here. So if like last week something goes out on Instagram, jump over to YouTube, uh, Miriam Farish. And uh, yeah. So we'll try it again. And I'm reading your guys' comments right now. Okay. So if there's a topic you guys want to cover, let's do it. If not, we'll do a guided meditation and we will maybe pull some cards and then go from there. So let me know. I'm looking at comments here on YouTube and then on Instagram. How are you guys? Good to see you. Is there anything that you want to go over tonight? Is there anything you want to talk about? Last week we covered uh, codependency, which was a really good topic. If there's anything you want to cover tonight, otherwise we can jump into our meditation and then we'll pull some cards after. Or maybe we'll pull some cards first. We never really know what'll happen, right? Anything's possible. Just, always waiting to see if my mom is going to jump in, which I don't know if I saw her name yet. Those are the rules. Have to wait for mom. Can't start without mom. I see some new names and new faces, so welcome. So if you're going to stay for the guided meditation, just make sure you're in a comfortable place. You can be lying down, leaning against the couch. It's really important that your physical body is at ease, and so you aren't fidgeting or worrying about the physical body because it's going to want to move no matter what. And we want to try to counteract that a little bit, right? By being as comfortable as possible, not putting any extra strain or stress on ourselves. So if we don't have anyone who has a specific topic that they want to cover, then let's jump into the guided meditation first, because something will always come out from that. And then we can pull some cards. Like I said, I have Instagram and YouTube going at the same time. If either one of these go down, because last week Instagram did, feel free to jump on the other. They're both under my name, Maryam Farish. Thank you for the hearts. And if you have a question that comes up as far as a topic you want to cover, let's ask it after the meditation and go from there, okay? Okay. So the meditation is short. It's only about 10 minutes. But as those of you know who have been following me for a while, meditation is an essential part of everybody's life. Some people I know like to say that meditation isn't for me, or I can't sit still. Well, nobody can sit still. That's the thing about meditation. No one can sit still. That's why you meditate, to learn how to sit still, right? So once we realize no one can sit still, nobody's mind naturally just quiets. That's not a thing. And really, I mean, I tend to say that a lot, like allowing the mind to quiet, but ultimately, I've heard some people say that the mind doesn't even actually, or it isn't even possible for the mind to technically fully quiet. And so if we can, I really embrace that. I really embraced, okay, I don't even know if it's possible for the mind to fully uh quiet, but what it can do and what we can do with it is learn to allow the thoughts to move through, just almost like a movie, and do our best to not latch on and engage with the thoughts that come up. And that seemed more realistic for me. There's going to be some meditations where all you're doing is just like watching these thoughts pass and doing your best to not latch on. And some meditations, you will get like a more quiet, clear situation Both of them are needed and both of them are important. Okay. Sometimes some of my best meditations were spent where I just let all the information and I just let my brain talk and just go, 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 go. And it was like, I always kind of compare it to kind of just throwing up everything that's been sitting in my brain. And I actually felt so good and so balanced and so clear. And I was thinking during the meditation, I was like, this is like such a waste of time. Like my mind just won't shut up. But ultimately, because I just allowed it to do that, I felt the calmest I'd ever felt, honestly, after a meditation. So now I really embrace those moments when they happen. I really allow the mind to just go, 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 go. And I just don't latch on. Not saying it's easy. It's taken me a really long time. And sometimes we do latch on because it's something we need to go through emotionally. It's something we're supposed to feel, something we need to feel. So there's no rules, guys. The only rule is that you allow yourself this time to be gentle with yourself, to be accepting of yourself. And that's it. Because when we allow that love and acceptance, as cheesy as that sounds, everything changes in our life because what isn't happening for us, or when we feel things are not happening for us, we are not reaching goals, we are not getting to where we want to get to, it's purely out of a lack of love and compassion and forgiveness for ourselves. Because when we step into that space of love and forgiveness and acceptance of ourselves, everything opens up because those walls are gone, because those blocks don't exist. This is why we meditate, to get ourselves there. This is why we exercise. This is why we go to therapy. This is where we eat right. All those things. Do you like the way I always say, we're going to start with the meditation, and then I always end up talking first. All right, here we go. Again, anyone who, because I know people are jumping on, jumping off, get comfortable, lay down. You don't have to sit upright. 3 releasing breaths, close the eyes. One last talking point. I do have dogs. If you hear them bark, do your best to ignore. It will pass. 3 releasing breaths. Deep inhale through the nose and exhale, push that air out. 2 more. One more. Close those eyes if they're not already. And I want you to slow down the breath. I want you to deepen the breath. And I want you to elongate the breath. So slowing down the breath, elongating the breath, deepening the breath. Slowing down the breath, elongating the breath, deepening the breath. And as you allow the breath to move through the body, I want you to notice if there's any areas where the breath seems to stop or get stuck. Notice if the breath moves freely or if the breath stops just a little bit. And as you notice the breath, I want you to deepen it in those areas where it might become a little more shallow, where it might be a little bit stuck. We don't ask why, we just allow the breath to move. And then we deepen the breath. And as we exhale, we use the exhale as a way to open up and let go in certain areas of the body. So we inhale, and as we exhale, we notice that on that exhale, we open up just a little bit in certain parts of the body. Deeply inhale and deeply exhale, using the exhale to let go. I want you to bring your attention now to your belly. And I want you to use the belly and the breath together. So on that inhale, I want you to allow the belly to push out. And on the exhale, I want that belly to come back in. So inhale, the belly pushes out. Exhale, the belly gently pulls in. Inhale the belly out. Exhale, the belly gently pulls in. Really focusing that breath on the belly and really allowing that belly to naturally expand out and naturally pull in. I want you to feel that belly to be flexible and pliable and open, not holding any stress or strain in the belly. Really allow that belly to expand big and then to relax. Just a few more breaths here. And now I want you to feel, see, imagine a light that sits right in front of you, right at the third eye. But as you feel this light, as you visualize this light, I want you to let go of controlling the breath. So no longer forcing or deepening the breath. We're completely allowing the breath to move at its own pace. The belly still moves with the breath. The belly still remains flexible, pliable, and moves with the breath. And we feel this light that sits right in front of us, right at our third eye. It may be very close to you. It may be far away. There's no rules. Take a moment and just really allow that light to fill you, to support you. Maybe some of you feel it, see it, imagine it, maybe all three. And as that light shines just a little bit brighter, I want you to feel it, imagine it, see it coming towards you. Staying aware of your breath. We're no longer deepening the breath. We're no longer engaging the breath consciously, but we're allowing the breath to move on its own. Our focus and attention is on this light that moves closer and closer, slowly towards us. And as that light moves towards you, allow it to fill you. Now the light stops moving and it sits right in front of you. You staring at it focused on you. What does this feel like for you? What does this bring up for you? Maybe nothing, maybe everything. There is nothing correct and nothing incorrect about this experience. Feel the belly move. Become aware of the breath as it moves. Noticing your connection to this light. Wherever you're at, I want you to blow all the air out. So a deep exhale with this light right in front of us, guiding us, holding us. We're going to all breathe together. A deep inhale for the count of 4 through the mouth. We inhale like we're sipping through a straw for 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently hold the breath for a moment, but relax the body. And now exhale the breath through the lips like you're blowing through a straw for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath out and totally allow the body to let go. Inhale through the lips for 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently hold and relax the shoulders. Exhale through the lips for 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax the body. Last time, inhale through the lips for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, relax. Exhale through the lips for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let everything go. Allow the breath to move at its own pace. Relax the shoulders. Relax the cheekbones. Make sure the eyes are just gently closed. They're not squeezed tight. And relax the forehead. We hold this light because it's our guiding light. We feel this light because it's our guiding light. We experience this light because this light is us. It is who you are, it is where you come from, and it's where you will go back to. I'm going to ask you to just sit for a moment in silence with the eyes closed, feeling this light, seeing this light, and allowing the breath to move at its own pace. I'll call you when it's time. Just allow yourself to totally let go. Very good. I want you to now see this light as it starts to fade back into the cosmos, knowing your connection to it, knowing who you are with it, that it never leaves us. I want you to rub the palms of the hands together, placing the palms face up on your legs or on the floor, just allowing the energy to move through the body, feeling the tingling in the palms of the hands, remembering that you are this light. You are first and foremost from this light, and you are light. You are also made up of your surroundings, your life experiences. But first, you are light. You are here for a reason, or you wouldn't be here. So let's allow ourselves to stop the judgment, the ridicule, the questioning, the wondering, and accept that you are who you are, exactly who you are, and that is that. And that your purpose is with you and it lives in you. Gently open the eyes. Don't make too many big movements unless you have your journal and you want to write. Just allow yourself to be still with the eyes open. Just get comfortable with being at ease. Get comfortable with being balanced and awake. Get comfortable with being soft, with the belly being flexible and loose, the shoulders being relaxed. Get comfortable with being at ease. Joy is our base emotion. We are born with a base emotion of joy. But joy is also known more as a devotion than an emotion, because joy is what comes from the depths of our soul and our light. Joy has no object. So joy doesn't come from a person or a place or a thing that does something to inspire or instigate. Joy just is. And we are all born with joy as our base emotion, but that base emotion becomes cluttered and repressed and stifled. And a new base emotion is born from that and born from this stifling and the experiences around us. And this happens at a very young age. And so we hear people say a lot of times, oh, they're such a happy baby, or kids are so happy, or kids are so free, or kids are so this, or kids are so that, because they are still experiencing joy and it hasn't been stifled just yet. And then life happens, and that joy and that base becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. And now what is layered on top of it is maybe suffering or pain or sadness or so many things. And then we are unsure about how to find joy again and if we can. So our job is to then discover what our new base emotion is. What is this new base emotion that we have created from the suffering or from the life experiences? And how can we start to peel away that base emotion that, for me, it was anger. For some of us, it might be sadness. How do we start to peel that away to reach that joy? Well, we do it with the 5 steps to consciousness that I always talk about. And those 5 steps to consciousness are not something you need to pay for or read in a book. It is the same for everybody, whether you are a guru or you are just new to spirituality. It's yoga, daily meditation practice, physical exercise, therapy when we need it, and a healthy diet based more in plants. Yoga is imperative because we store experiences and emotions in the body in places that we don't even realize. And so with yoga, we are breathing into these places that we store our suffering, and we start to slowly and gently open it up and release it in ways that therapy can't get to. But therapy is part of these 5 emotions, because talking out our life experiences, crying about our life experiences, having those emotions are imperative. Those emotions drive us and change us and move us. So both yoga and therapy are all about clearing and cleansing the emotional body. And of course, there's so many great attributes to yoga as far as for digestion and our physical. But for today's conversation, right, this is where we're at, the 5 steps. Meditation, because meditation not only teaches us how to manage this brain, but it teaches us how to manage the noises of the physical body, so we're not continually reacting and responding to an ache or a pain or an emotion. The emotions are important, but we don't want them to be our sole driver. And so with a daily meditation practice, we will notice an emotion come up and we can decide if we want it or not. Grief is the one exception I always apply to this, because we want grief to come up even at the wrong time. We want to experience grief, and grief kind of has a mind of its own, and we don't want to mess with that. Physical exercise. So the physical body, when it is not at its prime, and prime is different for everybody, okay? When I say at its prime, I'm not talking youthful. I'm just talking flexible and strong enough. The heart is pumping. We get enough walking in. We are using our muscles, and it is strong enough that it sits tall and it feels good, okay? And then diet, what we eat. So we metabolize the food we eat. We metabolize in the belly the experiences we have, the people we meet. We digest all of this. And so if we are putting food in our body that we cannot digest, alcohols, sugars, coffees, caffeines, meat and dairy, all of those things in extreme absolutely affect the energy. And this is a longer conversation for another day, but for example, sugars and caffeines will take energy that runs smoothly through us and turn it jagged. Dairy and meats hold energy, and it holds and sits in the gut instead of moving through, right? And so learning, not doing any big change overnight. And if you're going to change your diet, of course, talk to your doctor first, but making sure that what you're digesting and eating and ingesting makes you feel good. It makes you feel clear. It makes you feel energized, right? And not in a hyperactive way, but in a balanced way. And so when all of these things are working together, and yes, it's a lot, but that's what is required to live on this planet. This is a low vibration planet. And so we have to it's like if it's snowing outside, are you going to walk out in your bikini or your bathing suit, let's say? No, you're going to put gloves on, you're going to put shoes on and a hat, and then you might put chains on your tires, and you'll maybe start your car and let it sit. You'll do all these things before you go out into the snow. Well, if you want to function on this planet at the highest level that you can function at, and honestly, when I say the highest level you can function at, that really just means being able to manage anxiety and depression. I'm not saying to be some incredible guru that sits on a mountain, because those days are done. This is about us being able to feel joy and balance on a regular basis just by existing. And it's not easy. But when we have all these tools in place, it's possible. And when our desire is to lean into meditation over a cup of coffee, when our desire is to go to a yoga class instead of happy hour, I'm not saying all the time, I'm not saying don't ever do a happy hour, but the bulk of your life, you lean into experiences that create balance and joy and calm. When that is your go to, everything changes. Everything changes. Gone are the times of leaders and gurus that sit on a mountain or isolate themselves or teach without being a part of society. Those days are gone, and let me tell you why. Because this isn't about having one leader. This is about all of us leading in our own ways. This is about all of us empowering each other. This is about listening to people who encourage you to be you in your own way, not in their way, and not to follow their way. And this is about doing this amongst the people, working a job. It's a different time, but it can be a good time the more of us that find this capability. Any questions? Compassionate teachers, teachers that shine their light so you can shine yours brighter. Teachers that expect and want you to be better than them. I expect those that learn from me to be better, clearer, stronger. Why? Because you are bringing something else to the planet, something that I can't bring. And I am bringing something to the planet that you can't bring. And the stronger you are, and the clearer you are, and the stronger I am, and the clearer I am, the better we all are. Because the more compassionate we aren't competing, we aren't jealous, we aren't fearful. I'm not saying you won't feel those things. I'm saying that is an example of choosing your emotions, that those emotions will come up and you will have the balance to say, I don't need to feel jealous. What I actually should be feeling is envy and awe and wow, I want to be like that. How do I be like that? What do I need to do to be like that? Manifestation. I'm using this new camera on YouTube and I don't know that I like it. Can you guys see that there? Manifestation. Manifestation. You know, that's another conversation for another day, but we're going to talk about that. Maybe we'll talk about that next week, because manifestation, there's no trick, there's no secret. It's the 5 steps. The clearer you are, the more healed you are, the more grounded you are, you understand how to co-create. It's not easy. None of this is easy, guys. None of this is easy. I mean, I'm 50 years old and I've been practicing, I would say consciously practicing since my late 20s. Late 20s. And as cheesy as the saying is, it's the truth. It's the journey, because The only reason why any of us are on this planet is to learn. And so we think that at some point we'll figure it out and then everything will be cool. Like, oh, I figured it out and everything's cool. It's no, you figure it out, you die. Sorry, but it's kind of the truth, right? You're here to learn. That's it. So enjoy learning, enjoy the process. And listen, when I was in my late 20s, I didn't enjoy it. I was bitching and complaining. But once I really stepped on the path and found it, it was like, oh, freedom. I get it. All right. We're digressing. Ask your soul. Those are your cards for tonight. In 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, which is like 45 minutes from now, I'll be back on YouTube for Myth or Mystery, which is a lighter, fun paranormal show. And then my goal is to be here every Thursday night at 5:30 and doing this work with you guys. Thank you very much. For some of you, I'll see you in just a little bit over on YouTube.